So, why is this video titled Game Changes? I'm gonna explain briefly why I think anything you do on the first 6 chapters of the game will take effect on the epilogue. I've seen few different game changes that are it's kind of weird how they play out, because first we have the crazy lady where when you go to the shack, she's out spelling random numbers and she's talking about she will find a home, right? And also there's this lady up here where you have to teach her how to hunt, and when you hit the epilogue and you come back up here, if you don't teach her how to hunt, she's found dead. So I went back to a previous game file where I'm trying to come up with some things differently now, and I gotta teach the lady how to hunt. I gotta figure out what the crazy lady is saying, but there is one thing which is kind of puzzling, because right now prior to the epilogue, you cannot go to Blackwater, otherwise you'll get hunted down by the law. And I've tried to go in Blackwater and I had no luck with that. You just get immediately chased and hunted down and killed. So, and on the epilogue, when you get to go to Blackwater, there's 6 mysterious writings on there that point out to something, and they're in Aztec hieroglyphs. So the Aztec hieroglyphs only say, they're like referencing only animals. So one is a crocodile, one is a snake, one is an eagle or a crow, and the other one is a house. But there is more intertwined with that, because it also has to do with a calendar. And as you go through the story and the main line, you're going to see several months pass, several weeks pass, several time later. Alright, so when you finish out the final mission where Arthur dies, well, in my case I died somewhere up here. Let me get my bearings on here. So we have here's the other hideout where they camp around the cave. So you run up all the way up here, and I believe he dies here on this mountain. And I died just peacefully looking to the sunrise, and that was my kind of event. But prior to that, I only managed to do one part of the mission where I only got to hunt a bunny for her, and then it'll give her a couple of days, and then Arthur asks if she has a rifle with her. And then several days after, I was supposed to come back up here, but I went through the story and I kept on playing. Now, why am I talking about this? Because Rockstar knows, especially Dan Houser and Sam Houser, from experiences with Grand Theft Auto 5, that we have the so-called group of people that they're the code walkers. Like, they go inside of the coding of the game, and basically most of the Easter eggs and most of the stuff that's been probably out fine by now has to do with some kind of break-in inside of the game, where they look at the codes and they say, okay, this location, this is gonna happen, yada yada yada. But I proved on Grand Theft Auto 5 that there's certain things that cannot be found with just simply by looking at the codes of the game, because they're integrated inside of the makeup of the world. They hide things on the map, on the world, where there's no code with it. They just hide it with art. So there's got to be something hidden on this game that it is going to be impossible for a cold walker to find it out, because it is not in the codes. It is not something that it is going to be simply on a code, written on a code, or written in a hexadecimal, or written in a binary, or whatever, that they're just gonna simply find it. Like for example, the UFO, where the UFO, you go at 2 in the morning to the shack and the UFO spawns. I mean, that's a possibility that a code walker, or somebody found it by pure luck. But I highly doubt it. I highly doubt that someone found out about this UFO just by waiting around until 2 a.m. to see the UFO spawn. And then right there on the shack, you get the note where it sends you up to. Well, it doesn't send you up there. It just kind of like references it to be at Mount Shan on the half moon on the 2nd hour to make the UFO spawn looking towards Strawberry. So I mean, it's kind of stuff like this that I want to point out. Like for example, like the very town of Sandy Shores in Grand Theft Auto 5, it's something called the I Ching, which has to do with the Chinese mythology about a god king named Fuxi that survived along with his sister and both of them repopulated the earth after a flood. All right, so on top of that, the I Ching I learned about, I kept on, it was quite interesting that the I Ching corresponds to the binary of computers, and then it sent me to Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz, which he's called the father of cybernetics, because he was the one that started breaking down the ones and zeros, which is the language of computers, PlayStations, Xbox, any type of computer, how it reads data and it puts it out into a game format. It's just simply data. But with the turn of events on this game, where you can pick a fight or avoid it, or settle down somebody, I mean, it's really drastic, it's really dramatic how you can avoid things and what could be the outcome, and you can get different things depending on what you're doing. So that's what I want to point out on here. So there's got to be something hidden in the map, and it is not going to be found within the codes of the game. It is just from whatever clues we get on the map. We have to figure out what it is. So I'm still working with this mysterious writings, but I had to come back here and check out something before the epilogue, and then I gotta come back to the epilogue and come back and see if there's actually a change on what I'm trying to figure out here. Because the mission where Jax gets stolen from the camp, you have to go to the Braithwaite's manor and figure out where is Jack, try to get him back, and then the Braithwaite lady says he hands him over to the Italian guy in St. Denis, so they burn the house. They burn the house down. So when you go back there, you can find the old lady burned in there, and then when you come back in the epilogue, like grass is growing on there, and things change erratically. Like for example, the crazy girl locked up in the shack, she's there just spewing out random numbers, yada yada yada. When you come back in the epilogue, she's dead. It is really strange. So from what I learned on Grand Theft Auto 5, I'm trying to hunt based on that. And what is going on here? Where is this coming from? There's gotta be... Oh shit! This guy's trying to open in the safe, they just blew the hell up. So So, oh yeah, there's another thing I just found out. I don't have it open on this game, but on over here in the southern part of the map, there was this weird shack where I was just going about and the house literally like blew up. I don't know what the hell was that about, but there's like no way to keep on running for the south side right now, because as soon as you get in Blackwater, you just literally get hunted down. And I've been trying, thanks to the journal, I don't know what chapter that's in. Thanks to the journal, I started looking around in the journal, and that's where I found out about Blackwater, where there's this big X, and then I found those mysterious writings in there. I don't know if somebody else did come across that, but apparently from what I got in the comments, one of the guys that was searching information about it, we was the only ones talking about it on one of my videos. So I know it's gonna spread out like wildfire. A lot of people may be onto it right now, but I cannot make no sense of it. It's just like house, crocodile, whatever, and there's just no making sense of it. So there's a lot of stuff in this journal as he goes by, and he keeps on writing, and he's quite a draftsman. Here's the young woman. So I haven't read. Found this crazy young woman, real strange looking, locked up in a kind of outhouse hidden in the Braithwaite Manor. World ain't a kind place to folk like her. So you cannot break her out. I tried a lot of things on there, and she's just spewing out random numbers. I know it's got to be something, obviously. So saw an old church, found it interesting, not sure why. This is what just like on the back of my head, ding, okay, there's something strange around here. So I mean, I know Rockstar. I mean, as for Dan Hauser and Sam Hauser, if they want to hide something, they would hide it in the map, and with clues to whereabouts in some unbreakable or hard to do thing to try and figure it out. But I mean, it's just right now to those writings, I had to stop for a while because I'm already getting a headache. So as you can see here, you have a croc, a snake, a horse, but so would have to pay attention to whereabouts. So I mean, I can't. Oh my God, it's got to be in the first chapter then. What was that weird symbol? Got into some god-awful fight in town saloon. Bill started you want to learn about son Reagan Sullivan. So it's I mean, it's just whatever it is, man, it's gonna be hard to crack. I tell you right now, cause I've had none the slightest. Like right now, everything I have on pen and paper, it just don't make sense. I can't make no sense of it at all. So let me go to chapters, cause this is getting right here. It's just on one main chapter. So this is what on the epilogue sent me back to Blackwater, and I found out about those mysterious writings. I have no idea whatsoever. Okay, so you can see the bank there with a little money symbol and an X up there too, right next to the bank. I didn't check that out. I didn't even see that up until now. But I'm just gonna figure out. I'm just gonna do what I was gonna do here. go back to the epilogue, come back, and then keep on trying to decipher those mysterious words. Just whatever you get, whatever you find, just try to hit me up, please, on the comment sections down below, and let me know. See if we can, at least among us, we can try and solve this out, or whoever wants to jump in. I'm not on the Reddit threads of Red Dead Redemption right now, and as a matter of fact, I don't follow none of that. I mean, I gotta get into it and see what I can dig up. But I like, me specifically going into those sort of things, it's just like, sometimes I find so much misleading stuff in there, and everybody has their own opinion, everybody has their own. That's what happened on Grand Theft Auto 5. Everybody went crazy, then somebody just stayed stuck until what they thought, and whatever you try to express an opinion, a theory, and they would say exactly like, they would say you have to be open on this kinds of things, and speculate whatever angle, side, opinion, everything counts. Like whatever to get it solved, everything counts. There's no thing in arguing who's stealing what. Everything is a conveyor of information. All right. So if you like, right now I do my videos and I don't claim nothing just because of that, because then somebody can come and say, oh no, I did find that first, and then a whole argument starts. I'm not with none of that. Please stop it with that. All right. But keep on hunting. There's a lot of stuff and new Easter eggs on this game still to be found out, especially random events that could trigger out something else, or a certain point in time where at certain stages in the playthrough things can turn out differently, or something other than the other thing can like spawn out. All right, so it's just crazy right now.